My speech is going to be on the effects of sports on student athletes. College student athletes devote 4 years of their life to their sport. Throughout the course of these 4 years, athletes learn, improve, and develop in many different aspects of their life. Athletes dedicate themselves to their school, often in exchange for scholarships to help relieve debt of their college tuition. According to NCAA.org, NCAA students have a 87% graduation rate, and that has improved since 2002, where we began through the NCAA, which is the National Collegiate Athletic Association, through 74% in 2002, all the way up to 87% in 2017. So athletes are improving in the classroom as well as on the field, and our leaders and professors are making sure that we get the jobs done on both sides. Student athletes give countless hours a week to the university in games, practices, workouts, study halls, anything you can think of really. And due to these rather demanding requirements, student athletes are forced to adjust their schedules and forced to adjust their time management skills throughout college, which can often induce a lot of stress upon student athletes. In order to adapt and manage all of the things required of them, student athletes develop excellent life skills such as time management, leadership, and teamwork. I'm a student athlete here, and the development I've made since my first semester and all aspects of my life have definitely surprised me. I didn't even know what time management was until I became a college athlete. Without athletics, I would not have as much of a drive to perform in the classroom. Having athletics drives me to ensure that I get to step on the field, so maintaining my GPA and keeping my scholarship are things that I have to do to ensure that I get to play the game that I love. And this is just proof of how the odds are very slim that you get to compete at the next level. So it's not something that we take for granted. It's something that we take very seriously. It's like a job for us. And for softball, for Division II, which is what we are here, the high school to NCAA Division II is 1.5%. So 1.5% of varsity athletes in a high school level get the chance to play at the Division II level. Another thing that has helped me besides becoming a time-efficient student athlete that improved my college experience overall is the importance of leadership. From personal experience, my entire basis of my leadership development is through the basis of the sport of softball. Sports fully immerse athletes into opportunities to develop into a leader and become more loud and outspoken in groups of people such as your teammates. According to Forbes.com, leadership is defined as a process of social influence which maximizes the efforts of others towards the achievement of one goal. Athletic programs provide opportunities to athletes where they have to make short, quick, and concise decisions, such as a play on the field. But not only do they teach you to make important decisions on the field, they teach you to make important decisions throughout your life. According to Livestrong.com, playing sports presents many opportunities to recognize when to behave decisively. For example, when a soccer player sees a chance to score a goal, he will make the kick. In other cases, a leader needs to consult his teammates and gather information to call a play before making a decision. Playing team sports involve developing a strategy to confront the opponent in the best way possible and attack its weaknesses. Leadership is undeniably an important trait in getting a job in the future, and athletes have a great advantage due to their ample opportunity to develop into great leaders on and off the field. And as we can see in the next PowerPoint slide, our athletes lead in the classroom typically. This is just from a standard NCAA Division I statistic, but they show non-athlete males, recruited athletes, and walk-on athletes, as well as female, the same for non-athlete, recruited, and walk-on. And the GPAs are substantially higher for athletes, especially those of walk-ons and scholarships, because they are working for something. They're working for the opportunity to either make the chance to get on the field or to keep their scholarship and stay on the field as well. So they also work as leaders in the classroom and on the field, which is a great attribute that a college student athlete will learn over their 4 years. The next step I wanted to move into about another characteristic that we develop as student athletes are teamwork, and that is defined as working well with others in order to achieve a certain goal. According to Coral Community Lessons Learned from Athletics by Hillary Abspalt, When discussing watching the Sugar Bowl one year, she says, when the coach talks about closeness among the players, he is noticing the existence of community and the way in which he sees himself as a part of a whole. In a culture where winning is central, as it seems to be in athletics, everyone on a team must share the same goals. It is nearly inevitable to avoid working with another teammate in college athletics. As a college athlete, I know the importance of meshing well with your teammates and having full trust in one another. The sport of softball has taught me that it takes more than one person to achieve a goal. To succeed in sports, you must work together with your teammates in unison towards your goal. In conclusion, college athletics greatly impacts the characteristics and growth of positive characteristics within student athletes. Going back to the time management example, here is a typical schedule for in-season and out-of-season for our NCAA Division II athletes. We get 4 hours per day of practice as well as 20 hours per week total, and we're required to have one off day. And then same for out of the season, but it's lowered to 8 hours a week to focus on our studies. So that gives us an opportunity to study more when we are not playing our sport and traveling as much. So this teaches us to manage our time really well. And that is one of the best things I've learned as a college athlete, is how to manage my time. And that is definitely the most important thing I've learned. And going back to leadership, it's imperative for us to learn to be leaders on the field, so it's really drilled into our heads every day that we need to be leaders. And the last thing is the importance of teamwork, which also helps me to do group activities in the classroom and develop and learn how to face diversity in different people and groups of people to work with them like I do with my team. So college athletics, in short, graduates champions of life, not just sports.